water the best electrolyte drink? Our hypothesis for this experiment was that fresh coconut water is the best electrolyte drink. Before we started the experiment, we gathered the materials. We used 4 50 milliliter beakers, 4 25 milliliter pipettes, a conductivity probe, Powerade, Gatorade, fresh coconut water, bottled coconut water, thermometer, and labels. The independent variable in this experiment is the type of drink, which were Powerade, Gatorade, bottled coconut water, and fresh coconut water. The dependent variables are the electrical current in each drink and the temperature. The controlled variable was the volume. First, we calibrated the conductivity probe. In today's experiment, we had to calibrate our probe twice to ensure it was ready to use. The probe was inserted in a solution of distilled water and later on in a concentrated solution of sodium chloride to ensure the accuracy of the calibration equation. Then we added labels to the beakers and the pipettes. We measured 50 milliliters of each drink on a separate beaker, and we measured the temperature of the drinks as we recorded the data. We inserted the conductivity probe in each drink and also recorded the data. We also made sure to clean the conductivity probe with distilled water between drinks. We repeated the process for all 4 drinks for a total of 3 trials. These conductivity versus time graphs show our results for each drink on each trial, where the highest line is the results for the fresh coconut water. We created conductivity charts for each drink based on our recorded data, and we calculated the average conductivity of each drink. We tested which electrolyte drink had the most electrolytes by measuring electrical conductivity. Electrical conductivity is the ability of a solution to carry a flow of electrical charge. It is the ratio of the current density to the electric field strength. An electrical field strength is a vector field which shows the direction of positively charged particles. The direction will always point towards the place in the field where a positive charge will occur. The probe measures the conductivity of the substance through a small electrical current that flows inside an electrode. Once inside the substance, the probe will measure the amount of ions present to determine the electrical conductivity of the substance. When the conductivity probe reveals a high conductance, it means that the substance has a high electric conductivity, because the concentration of the ions is higher and therefore more electrolytes are present. The probe is converting the voltage to conductance. SI unit of conductivity is microsiemens, which was named after scientist Werner von Siemens. The electrical current produced by the electrolytes can be utilized as an energy source for many different things, especially for the human body. Besides giving energy to the human body, it can also be transmitted into an electrical current and used to power up a light bulb. The drinks were able to effectively conduct electricity because they contain mobile ions that allowed for a flow of electrical current. The substance that is conducting the electrical current as a result of a dissociation into ions is called an electrolyte. So the more concentrated the solution is, or the more electrolytes it contains, the greater the ion flow rate, the greater the electrical conductivity is. In the case of the Gatorade and Powerade, the mobile ions came from the dissociation of the salts, sodium chloride, potassium citrate, and monopotassium phosphate. The sodium chloride is a strong electrolyte because it completely ionizes, which means that it dissociates completely into the sodium cation and the chlorine anion, which are able to conduct electricity. The monopotassium phosphate provides mobile ions because it dissociates into a potassium ion and a dihydrogen phosphate ion. The potassium citrate also provides mobile ions because it dissociates into 4 ions, 3 of them being potassium ions. These salts are also very soluble in water, and therefore they have a high solubility product constant, which is the equilibrium constant for a solid substance dissolving in an aqueous solution, and it represents the level at which a solute dissolves in solution. By having a high solubility product constant, it means that the compound is highly soluble, and therefore providing mobile ions takes a small amount of energy. In the case of the coconut water, it already contains mobile ions. The mobile ions in coconut water comes from the sodium, potassium, magnesium, calcium, zinc, cations, and the sulfur, iodine, phosphorus, and selenium anions present. The fact that it contains so many mobile ions allows for a high electrical conductivity, and therefore, along with our experimental results, can be considered the best electrolyte drink. Electrolytes are chemicals that are able to conduct electricity when they are dissolved in water. Inside the body, they form ions in bodily fluids. Some examples of electrolytes are calcium, magnesium, sodium, and potassium. They are often found in sources such as fruits and vegetables. However, electrolytes are extremely common in sports drinks as well. After extreme physical activity, the human body loses electrolytes through sweat and cannot replace them as quickly. Sports drinks such as Gatorade and Powerade provide the body with the electrolytes that it has lost, preventing what is commonly known as dehydration, which is caused by the imbalance of water and electrolytes in cells. Electrolytes play an essential role in the human body because of their multiple important functions. They are used in processes such as the transmission of electrical impulses and the contraction of muscles. Electrolytes ensure the proper function of systems such as the digestive, nervous, cardiac, and muscular. Without the correct amounts of electrolytes, an athlete can suffer not only from dehydration but also from other symptoms, such as fatigue, and irregular heartbeat and changes in blood pressure. These symptoms can appear when the electrolyte values are either too high or too low. The normal amount of electrolytes in the human body depends on the type of electrolyte. For example, normal calcium levels range from 2.2 to 2.55 millimoles per liter. Normal potassium levels range from 3.5 to 5 millimoles per liter. There are 3 different types of energy drinks that are available to athletes: hypotonic, isotonic, and hypertonic. However, in this experiment, we will only handle solutions that are either hypotonic or isotonic. In an isotonic solution, cells have a balanced concentration of water and solute out of the cell and in the cell. An isotonic energy drink has levels of salt and sugar that are similar to those found in the human body. The absorption of the drink into the bloodstream is fast, which is why isotonic energy drinks are typically recommended for most athletes. In a hypotonic solution, cells have larger concentrations of water outside of the cell and larger concentrations of solute inside of the cell. A hypotonic energy drink has levels of salt and sugar that are lower than those in the human body. They are quickly absorbed into the bloodstream, but provide little energy in the form of carbohydrates, so they are usually taken simply in order to avoid dehydration. The Gatorade used contained 2.3 grams of sugar per 100 milliliters, meaning that it classifies as a hypotonic drink. The Powerade used contained 4 grams of sugar per 100 milliliters, meaning that it classifies as an isotonic drink. Both the bottled and fresh coconut water had no added sugars, meaning that they are also hypotonic. Due to electrolyte abundance, coconut water is a more effective hydrate than energy drinks, but energy drinks having added sugars to them provide an athlete with an energy boost that the coconut water does not provide. The ethical implication present within our experiment relates to companies giving false advertisements. Companies such as Powerade are promoting their beverages as highly concentrated electrolyte drinks, when in reality their content of electrolytes is nearly half as much as all the other drinks tested. The social implication present within our experiment relates to the benefits fresh coconut water has in athletes. Fresh coconut water has the highest electrolyte concentration, meaning that it will help athletes by hydrating them and giving them energy. Besides helping athletes, coconut water is known to be used in African countries as a source of medicine for emergency patients. Due to the electrolyte richness of coconut water, it has been injected as an intravenous rehydration fluid during times of remote medical emergency and famine, as well as ingested orally in response to severe dehydration associated with diarrhea. The economical implication present within our experiment relates to fresh coconut water being cheaper than the brands of electrolyte drinks. Not only is coconut water cheaper, but it has the highest concentration of electrolytes, with an average electrical conductivity of 2,900 microsiemens per centimeter. The environmental implication present within our experiment relates to fresh coconut water being better for the environment than the other beverages that come in plastic bottles, especially because 1 million plastic bottles are bought around the world every minute according to Forbes, and coconuts are actually biodegradable and can even be reused with no chemical dangers involved. Based on our experimental results and the clear relationship between the number of electrolytes and the electrical conductivity, the fresh coconut water is the best electrolyte drink, since its conductivity was the highest out of all the drinks tested on all 3 trials.